Hello, so I just wanted to talk a bit today about a new passion of mine, which I believe is kind of been lingering in the back of my mind somewhere because it kind of links up with um, me trying my best to make conscious decisions or just think about things in my life. And it's just the idea of natural materials, so materials that come from plants and animals, such as cotton, linen, silk, wool, hemp. Yeah, so there's some others as well. Instead of synthetic fibres such as polyester. Polyester's a really big one, and acrylic. So, I mean, I don't know. I've always, I've never really thought much about this. So, although it seems so simple in a way, but now I'm making a real effort to avoid buying things made out of synthetic materials, because they're not only bad for the earth, they're created from fossil fuels and there's like chemicals used to dye them, used to create them as well. But they're also bad for use because the chemicals they're usually toxic, and it's nice to be surrounded by materials that come from the earth and that can go back to the earth. So obviously it's really quite hard because we live in this world now where everything is just so normal, even like everything seems normal, crazy things seem normal. Things are just, everything's so fast paced. And I think I was speaking to my mum in the car and we were talking about the hard drive of my Mac and how small it was. And mum was just saying when she was younger, having so much data on such a small thing would have been like considered magic. Anyway, I'm going off on one, but basically the world has exploded, and I think it can sometimes seem extreme that you're trying to avoid these things that are so normal. So I'm really now trying to avoid polyester or buy secondhand, continue to buy secondhand, or buy things that are recycled from old polyester, polyplasticky, whatever. If I'm gonna buy it, or buy from companies that are smaller and have more of ethics. But basically, I'm trying to avoid synthetics, which, as I have a daughter, it kind of seems a bit overwhelming because there's so many plastic toys and things. But I think this world is already so stimulating, and there's so much stimulation. I don't know. So I've always wanted to avoid like plastic toys and stuff, and for Daphne to wear really natural fibres, breathable fibres, and have natural earth given materials around her. So it really has brought it to the forefront of my mind. So I took away my mattress topper, which was basically this big foam polyester thing that I would consider toxic, purely because of how it was made from fossil fuels, the chemicals it was made. And you might notice that polyester it's so many different materials can be made from these synthetic fibres. They can make fake furs and fake leathers and waterproof this, and it's just a whole, honestly, it's just crazy how they've even been created and how they're made. And I also think about things like every time you wash or tumble dry these synthetic fibres, which are ultimately plastics, they little parts of them, of the fibres, go out into the environment and you breathe them in and they go into our water streams. So it's just something to note. And of course, it's going to be so hard to get to stop doing everything, to avoid all this stuff when it's so around you. And all you can do really is remind your friends and your family that this is really what you're trying to do, and they'll understand because they're your friends and family, and just continue on a mission of just bringing into your life natural materials, second-hand materials. If you're going to buy leather, of course, animal welfare is a hot topic when it comes to wool and leather. So I would definitely recommend second-hand or buying from a supplier that you feel is really trusted. Daphne, she wears little woolen covers for bedtime because wool is waterproof and water resistant. So they're really, really good. And I've just bought some yarn for Harvey's great nan to make some things. And I found a woman in England who makes yarn, and from her own sheep. She has it sent to a mill and they're from her own sheep, and she even plant dyes it. So all the dyes are actually natural, because that's a whole nother thing, how everything is so many multicolours, and it's just, I think it's just kind of crazy basically. So that has been a bit of a new passion of mine, and I'm really enjoying it. So it's basically just being a bit more aware when you're purchasing stuff, and looking around you and thinking, what's this made of, or where did this come from, and what was used to make this. And it can be hard sometimes, because even with wool you can get superwash wool, and superwash wool is basically wool which is obviously from sheep, a natural material that has then been given a light, like poly something coat over on top of it to help it be washed in the washing machine. So I personally would want to avoid superwash wool and just go for wool. So it's really a battle minefield thing, and yeah, you can get really deep into it, but I think just to stay as conscious as you can about it, try your best, talk to your friends and families, because gifts are one of the most difficult things to you want to accept gifts graciously, but if they don't feel resonating to you, it can be really hard. And definitely having a daughter, obviously that means lots of things come into your life, so I really recommend talking to your close friends and family about how you are trying to avoid synthetic materials. So yeah, that's just a bit of what I wanted to say, and I'm definitely open to debate and conversation. So if you want to talk about it, then I would love to listen. And yeah, that's all. I think I'll leave it there. Usually there's things I feel like I've forgotten to say, but yeah, just continue trying to do the best you can, even though sometimes it can feel really daunting. And sometimes I have really down moments where I just think about the world and rubbish and plastic and I don't know, just if I've eaten as best as I can in terms of helping the environment, or just it can be a bit of craziness, but keep trying and you will feel accomplished and hopefully be part of the whole of helping Mother Earth. Bye.